Skål. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another beer review for you guys, and I'm still going on with looking into the beers from Fanø Brewery. Today I have a beer that I actually have quite high expectations of, and this one and the next three after this one is like this. I have high expectations. This one costs around 40 Danish crowns for 50 centiliters. It is 5.5% alcohol, and the IBU is 66. It is a Belgian ale, a black Belgian ale, and it is called Black Sun. So the reason for the name, it's inspired by the natural phenomenon going on in and I actually kind of found out what they called Vadehavet. If you guys saw one of my last videos, there was a beer called Vadehavet, and I actually found out what that was called in English. So the name is Wadden, Wadden. So that's what it is, and the name of this is inspired by the natural phenomenon going on there in spring when all the starlings arrive from the south, and in the fall when all the starlings gather and get ready to leave because it gets too cold in Denmark in the winter, so they have to leave to go to the south. And a little starling, the bird, is on the label. And there's actually so many of these birds that, well, they say that it blackens out the sun, but it doesn't. It's like a big black cloud though, so it is really it does get darker when they're there because there's just so many of them arriving at the same time and leaving at the same time, so it's just like a big black cloud. Quite interesting. I've never seen it, but it should be very interesting and spectacular. So maybe I'll go there and watch that someday. But that's why it's called Black Sun. And that's why there's a little stalling on this. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say about this beer. So let's just jump into it and do the nosing and tasting, which is of course the most important thing. But I do like those little history or backgrounds for the names and for the beers. I think it's pretty important that they have this little background history and story about it. So there's no sponsored content in this video, and as always, everything on this channel is just my opinion. Wow, when they say black, they mean black. It's absolutely black. It's not just very dark brown, it is absolutely black. And the foam head, even though there's not a lot of it, it is quite thick and heavy and actually dark brown. So a very dark black beer. Definitely, I actually think it's very beautiful. Well, I could be, because it's quite low on the ABV, so it could be a little bit disappointing for me who like a lot of power in the beers, but let's just read what's in this. I forgot that. The malt is Pilsner malt, Cara Munich 2, roasted barley, Cara Red, brown malt, chocolate malt, Cara Munich 1, Carafa Special 2. Wow, a lot of different malts. The hops is Columbus, Chinook, Cascade, and Citra. So, and the aromas is coffee, chocolate, spices. The yeast, I've never seen this one in any of the beers from Fanø, is WLP 550. And what it said, they said that it pairs well with roasted meats, grapes, sweet desserts such as creme brulee. Yeah, as I say with all these beers, I'm sure it's very well alone. So that's how I'm gonna enjoy it. Whoa, thick, sweet, heavy malts right off the start. Very thick syrup, nose to it. Caramel, coffee, actually licorice, bitterness. Wow, there's a lot of power here and quite a lot of different variants. That sweet, heavy malt, almost like warm syrup or honey. And then also that bitter coffee and licorice. I'm actually not getting any chocolate the nose. It's more licorice for me and coffee. So maybe a little bit of a fruity hops feel at the back, maybe a little bit of citrus, I don't know. I'm getting something else, but it's tiny hints of it, and it's way in the back. It's hidden behind that heavy malt and heavy licorice and coffee bitterness. Yeah, exciting. Let's go. So the palate is just smooth and gentle, with a little bit of maltiness, with a little bit of sweetness, and with a little bit of what was that? That was coffee bitterness. The finish, however, is a lot more like the smell. It's more heavy. It's more powerful. There's a lot more bitterness from licorice, coffee. There's actually a little bit of chocolate, and then a lot of malty sweetness. And then at the finish, a lot of hops bitterness, mixing with that licorice bitterness. And the licorice is just they're just like, you know, strong English licorice, very bitter, very powerful. The palate actually has a little bit of hops fruitiness. A little bit of citrus, a little bit of fruitiness from that hops. Just a little hint of it at the palate. It might be there at the nose as well, and it might be there at the finish, but it's just, for me, I can't get to it because of all those heavy flavors. Now, it's actually there at the nose as well. So a tiny fruity hops feel to it, makes it a little bit fresh. Makes it a little bit more light, but not weak, but lighter. This is a really interesting beer because there's so many nuances, there's so many levels to it. And when I first nosed it, it was just heavy malt, sweetness, syrup, caramel, coffee and licorice bitterness. After the sip, when I nosed it again, there was actually a little bit of hint of that hops. So really interesting. I'm gonna be putting the Black Sun Belgian ale from Fanø Brewery at an 8.5 because it's just, for me, it could have a little bit more power, especially at the palate, maybe a little bit more alcohol in it, and that's why it's only at 8.5. But the nosing is, there's so much going on there, and there's a lot of flavors. Palate, as I said, is a little bit weaker or a little bit lighter than all the other things, and the finish is just a lot of flavors, but without that heavy alcohol. So 8.5 for the Black Sun from Fanø Brewery. Yeah, that's it for the video today. If you like the video, please leave a thumbs up and feel free to share it with friends and family. Also, leave a comment down below that I will respond to all of them. If you want to see more videos, subscribe and make sure to hit that notification button. If you want to, you can very well turn on notificate on all, but you can also go in and specify which videos you want to see. I think you can even go in and specify which playlists you want to be notified about. And I have all my videos, because there's so many different types of videos on my channel. I have them all divided into different playlists, so it's a lot easier for you guys to kind of look at the videos that you're interested in. Also, if you want to, please check out my Instagram account. It is Dunkeren_. Please give me a follow there if you like what you see. That would really mean a lot to me. And yeah, that's it for the video today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay strong out there. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.